Yo, yo, boxing aficionados. What's up? What's going on? Yo, check the sound. Wow. I was pleasantly surprised uh, at how this fight turned out. Um, my prediction was that BETERBIEV would win by knockout. I thought that if it were to go to a decision, that BIVOL would get the decision. That was based on a couple of factors. I thought that if the fight were to have gone to decision, then it being in Riyadh, um, Eddie Hearn's involvement, um, I thought that if it were to go to a decision, I thought that it'd be because BETERBIEV would have been because of BETERBIEV not performing up to his standards. I thought that he would have been. I thought that BIVOL would have had to thoroughly outbox BETERBIEV in order for that fight to go the distance. And I thought that if BETERBIEV thoroughly outboxed, and I thought that if BIVOL thoroughly outboxed BETERBIEV, it would have been because of the layoff and the hindrance, maybe the injury or whatever. But I was actually I was very certain that BETERBIEV would win by knockout. So I'll say this: I'll eat partial crow. Having said that, I will say that I also mentioned on my video, my preview to this fight, that those that thought or those that think that BETERBIEV is this one-trick pony doesn't really understand that the man could box. I mean, really box. I was one who thought that he was a lot more limited than he appeared. I thought that BETERBIEV, and that was not after this fight. When I changed my mind was when he fought Joe Smith. I went to the guard. I saw that fight. He did get rid of Joe Smith in 2 rounds, I believe, but he didn't maul him. He got rid of Joe Smith off the back foot, going backwards, actually. He stayed away from Joe Smith's punches, from Joe Smith's range, never let Joe Smith get into the fight, and didn't engage in any kind of brawling. I saw his footwork live, and I said, this man can really, really, really box. That's when I said, damn, this dude really, really can box. And tonight, we saw it. We saw BETERBIEV box, man. All right? For those, I know this. Listen, first of all, I'm glad that they're talking about a rematch. I'll tell you this. The rematch will end up in a knockout for BETERBIEV. And I'll tell you why. Tim Bradley and Osuna were talking back and forth. I love Osuna, by the way. And Osuna asked Bradley, he said, who do you think can get better in this fight? Who do you think can get better in this fight in a rematch? And Timothy Bradley, surprising to me, said that BIVOL would get better. I said, no. BETERBIEV will get better. BETERBIEV would get better in a rematch, okay? Because BETERBIEV is the one who came off the 290-something days of layoff. BETERBIEV was the one coming off the knee surgery. I didn't think that the knee surgery was going to play a part in anything. I think that BETERBIEV is too smart, has too much pride and too much integrity to get in the ring hurt and not perform up to his standards, right? I don't think he would just take the bag and get in the ring hurt. I don't think he's that in that kind of desperation. But I did see that his timing was off. That was not BETERBIEV's timing. His timing was completely off. I think he missed a lot of punches over the top. His patented overhand right wasn't connecting. It wasn't connecting because of his timing, right? So in my opinion, it is BETERBIEV who's bound to get better if a rematch is done right away, especially if it's done right away. Let's say in 3-4 months, BETERBIEV gets better. His timing, you basically saw BETERBIEV in a tune-up fight. That's a tune-up fight for him. Think about it. It's a tune-up fight for him. BIVOL was in the ring in May. Or was it May? Yeah, I think it was May or June or something like that. He was just in the ring. For BIVOL, he was about as tuned as he could be. No long layoffs, completely healthy. Enough rounds behind him. He had one more fight than BETERBIEV. Got to have that tune-up fight against a knock and get his only knockout in 9 years. That's 9 years that man didn't have a knockout. So BETERBIEV coming back in, let's say, 4 or 5 months, believe me, it would be a problem. He would be a problem. He would get BIVOL's timing down and be sharper. BETERBIEV was not sharp, but his footwork was pristine. His footwork was pristine. He does this little hop step, which he didn't do for the first 3 or 4 rounds. Then BIVOL got his momentum. He rattled off about 3 or 4 rounds himself, and even the rounds that BETERBIEV may have gotten would have gotten close, but after that, like around I would say about the 8th round, 9th round, BETERBIEV got to do this little stutter step that he does where he gets just out of range and made BIVOL reset. He would call just out of range. Whenever BIVOL was about to really tee off for him, you know that, first of all, BIVOL couldn't do what he did to Canelo with BETERBIEV because BIVOL himself, he's a pressure fighter. BIVOL is a pressure fighter. Yes, he moves back and forth, and it's like a fencing motion, but he basically always comes forward and always throws punches. In this fight, he was totally going backwards most of the time, right? And that's one of the things that lost him the fight, by the way. Yo, who's this? Halisat artist. Yo, what's up, my brothers? Everybody who's up there, the 2 people, whatever. I'm just excited about this fight. But check this out, man. What was I saying? BIVOL was the one who was not being himself in the ring. BIVOL was not being himself in the ring. BETERBIEV may not have fought to his standards, but at least he was doing what he usually does, which is pressure fighter, which is cut off the ring, which is being people's face. His timing was off. His punches was off. He was missing by a lot. You know, he was shooting that right and it was coming off over the top. He wasn't going to the body as much as he usually does. He didn't punish BIVOL's body the way. So he wasn't going to the body with a plum, right? But at the same time, BIVOL was the one moving backwards. And people have to, and I know there's always some controversy. There's always, look, boxing fans love controversy. Boxing fans, I think they get a kick out of blaming the judges or refs or whatever. There's always some controversy, right? In this fight, there was no controversy. Yes, you can make an argument that BIVOL won the fight. But if you really, really look at the fight and be consistent with the pressure fighter getting the benefit of the doubt, then you will see that, of course, BETERBIEV won that fight. He was coming forward. You can't win going backwards like that. You can't, not all the whole fight, unless you're Muhammad Ali, where you're going backwards and, you know, doing shoe shines and making the fighter look stupid. But he wasn't making Beterbiev look stupid. It looked like he really just didn't want to engage at times. He said, oh, wait a minute. It's getting too hot in this kitchen. Let me get out. So the judges looked at that. I'm glad that there's an immediate rematch schedule, right? I'm glad that I think BIVOL does deserve that. I do think that Beterbiev will close the book on BIVOL in the second fight. That's a fact. I think Beterbiev will close the book on BIVOL in a second fight. I think if it's done within four months, especially 4 or 5 months from now, or 3 or 4 months for each, it'll end up looking the way I thought it would end up with BIVOL on the floor. You saw that BIVOL can't handle that punch. You saw BIVOL can't handle that punch. He's a great boxer, great mover. But I think the other thing that threw off BIVOL, and it threw off a lot of people, it is the fact that it is Beterbiev who has the longer reach. Beterbiev has the longer reach. I know some people were shocked by that. And it showed in this fight. Because BIVOL couldn't just out-jab him. And, you know, all around, I think I'm very, you know, it's hard to say, but for Beterbiev to outbox a boxer like that, go 12 rounds to get the decision, I think I might be a little bit more impressed with him in winning in that fashion, because I thought that he would win by knockout. But again, winning by decision, outboxing the boxer, that was quite a trick, man. At 39 years old, you got to respect that man. Now, if there is no rematch, which I think there will be, but you know what? I want people to start banging the drum for Canelo to say, I want to fight Beterbiev. Canelo needs to say, I want to fight Beterbiev. Because if you wanted to fight BIVOL, and you've said in the past that, oh, yeah, that's an interesting fight to me, or I don't want to fight this guy because he has nothing for me, and he doesn't bring anything to the table, or this and that, or he has never accomplished nothing, all that shit that he says about Benavidez, and he said about, what's his other, the dude, Boo Boo. He didn't fight Boo Boo. He didn't fight Benavidez. Not that I wanted to see him fight Boo Boo, but he basically didn't want to fight Benavidez because he doesn't bring anything to the table, and he didn't want to fight a whole host of fighters because they don't bring anything to the table. Well, he can't say that about Beterbiev. You can't say that about Beterbiev. You got 4 belts. You got undisputed. You got big money backing that man. Big money, because Turki Al-Ashi, quiet as kept, he really loves Beterbiev. You could tell by the size of that ring. That ring, I don't know if y'all guys are going to agree, but that ring, that was not a big ring. That was not a big ring. That ring favored Beterbiev a little bit. And the only reason BIVOL survived is because Beterbiev's timing was off. Beterbiev's timing was off. Beterbiev with more rounds in him, coming back from that surgery, whatever, a little bit less of a layoff, would stop BIVOL, man. That's a fact, bro. Anyway, it is what it is, and it ain't what it ain't. Boxing aficionados, I'm glad you're here. Whoever sees this video later, like and subscribe. Hell of a fight. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And I hope we get that rematch, y'all. Peace. I'm out.